some player stats. The warrior, the rogue, the mage, priest. We're going to be talking about something, so we'll be flickering back and forth. But, just for the long story short here is that we'll go ahead and talk about a couple of the classes as I kind of flicker around in the game as well. The protection warrior is a must-have for just for you have to have a protection warrior, basically a tank. Leveling, it sucks really bad. It's the worst out of all the classes, but it has got an upgrade and it is looking a lot better. But it's your kryptonite heavy class. It's suitable for high-ranking players, low-ranking players. It just takes a lot of investment, a lot of time. So when you think about a lot of this stuff here, it's not about, man, do I need a tank? The answer is yes. You need a tank. You have to have one. For the in-game content, they're very, very important. But they're the worst when it comes to the arena. Now, your DPS side of things, think about it like this. It's for leveling. But it's also very, very, very hard to level with it anyway. It's not very viable, but you know what? It's top 2 when it comes to single target in the raids. Unless you're in a big group, you're at the bottom of all the damage charts. You won't do much damage. You'll walk around, but you're always going to be at the bottom no matter how hard you try. It's just how it's going to be. But it's honestly, so you have to have a warrior. Your thief, originally it was the slowest class to level up. The last update saw rogues level up faster than fire mages. Due to the dual wielding, their natural skill damage is 5 to 10% lower than other classes. Melee class isn't recommended for non-spending players because it does take a lot of investment in reforge and getting specific stats. But in the arena, it's certainly godlike in the arena. Let me just tell you that. It's made for the arena. So if you're wanting a P versus P attitude, that's the route you're going to be going because it has lots of attitude inside the arena. So don't forget about that. When it comes to the mages, fire mages come in second for leveling up the fastest. The fastest spawning speed of all classes for its casting and DPS, and it's one of the very best ones to level up. It's what I pick personally. So it's one of the best. You should consider it strongly if you're trying to just maximize your levels as fast as possible. So you need to focusing on critical strikes in the late game with unlimited fire burst for the thrill of experience. So it got in the arena as well. It has an immense ability and favoritizability inside the arena. You can kill instantly depending on what skills it decides to go with. Ice Mage, I'm sorry, but it needs work. I love it and I use it. As you can see here on the screen, I love the blizzard. I love the effects. I love what it looks like. I love Ice Mages, but are they the strongest? No. Fire Mages is the best. They did increase and strengthen Ice Mages, but it's just still honestly just not enough to compete with the Fire at all. Fire, it just completely takes it out. Now the Priest is most effective at leveling out of all, even out of the Hunter. The crowd pulling monsters are incredibly powerful after 50. Ordinary players will find that while other classes can't go to the playground, meaning like right here, my priest was able to come here way before any other characters and able to grind out experience far faster than the other ones. Now, the main goal for the priest is to be holy. I know a lot of you guys hate to hear that. You're like, shadow. Yeah, I get it. Shadow Priest is basically your AFK build, but bring along some healing kits and you'll be fine in the dungeon. Just interlock them with the lower cooldown and you'll be just fine. Hunters are very powerful. They were so overpowered during beta, that's why they're not here right now. So if you think about it, they were so strong that he had to pull it to basically make it weaker. So that's why we don't currently have Hunters. So we're going to go through some attributes here. It's going to be a really, really boring part, but it's kind of what you guys are all wanting to know about anyway. Click here, the attributes. and you'll see what you currently have. Now, you're going to want intelligence, and you're going to want your stat, which is STA right here. You're going to want that stat. That stat's incredibly important. It's very, very powerful. And if we click the question mark here, we can visualize this even more, okay? Mana resource for mages and paladins and priests. So we can kind of just go through this HP, what these skills are, strength, who they for, agility, rogues. You're looking at all these stats here. Intelligence increased to SP for mages and priests, which is really very useful. And the main stat that everyone wants to have, it reduces all damage taken by 0.005 and increases maximum HP by 2, which is very, very strong. This is one of very, very, very strong skills to have. Even more so. So you want STA, you want intelligence, sorry, I'm clicked out here, intelligence, and you do want armor. So as you scroll down here and you're trying to figure out what's SP. SP basically enhances skill scaling, which is very effective for mages and priests and spellcasters alike. So this is your attack and cast speed. See the haste here? People are always asking, is haste just for this, just for that? No, it's for both. So as we scroll down here, we can figure out what is useful and what's not useful. You know, it's very, like, parry is way important. If you're a tank, parry, and you might as well just skip over dodge. Okay, dodge is not important. If you have 30% dodge on parry, I mean, if you have a 30% parry, you have a 10% chance of blocking your dungeon boss's attack. However, if you have 30% dodge, you still get hit. So as you can see, a lot of this information is very useful, but versatility you just have a very disadvantage. You don't need to go for versatility. It's not something that you actually want. So looking at a boss panel, you need 20% hit rate to avoid being dodged. You need a 25% accuracy rate to avoid being parried. And you need a 25% crit rate to crit. If you have only 10% hit rate, that's a 10% of being dodged by your boss, meaning your total damage is directly reduced by 10% if you have a 10% accuracy rate. That's 15% chance of being parried, resulting in a 20% damage reduction, even if parries can't be crit. So the higher you crit, the lower your accuracy, which is efficiently creates a negative benefit, reducing your damage even further. So the 10 hit plus the 15 precision equals 25, which times by 120 minus 3,000 divided by 180 equals a 16.67. So you can see how a lot of this is very, very, very important. So these are attribute calculations that are very beneficial to you. Now, parry is actually one of the most needed attributes when fighting a boss, because the boss accuracy is only 20%, and having a 30% parry will give you a 10% chance to dodge, while 30% dodge will give you 0%. So a lot of this is a lot. You can find this information all right here. You can see what you have here. You have your parry. I have a parry of 8.6%. Well, with the dodge percentage of 15.25, with the hit percent chance, it says 6.9% chance with a crit rate of 16. A lot of this information that we're talking about is right here on your panel that you can look at. Whenever you see a question mark button, click it. Just click it. Just like you're wondering what this bank storage is. Just click it. Put some stuff in there for your other classes that you're leveling up. But besides the DPS classes, defense attribute, if a boss hit is successful copied, it's already as high as 30%. So if you dodge 30%, it will also be 100% hit. So when we think about this, a 40% chance is only a 10% chance dodging. So which one should you invest in, dodge or parry? The answer is parry, because the dodge rate, you need 40% in order to dodge, while parrying you need a 30 to have a 10. See how all this math is really confusing, but at the same time very beneficial when it comes to your late game raid? It's even more impossible for ordinary people without the blessings of illustration, which could be found. Skills. Oh, hold on. I did not did donate. Cool. Okay, so skills. All right, so the best. We have our blessings here. All right. So what you want is a parry blessing. You want to increase the parry as much as possible, and you have the ability to. And so when we think about all of the information that we're talking about, sorry, one moment. A lot of the stuff can be increased through your actual guild hall by donations, events. You can even do your. I did invest into these two mostly because I utilize them the most. But yes, parry is very, very important when it comes to your tanking. Resilience is for DPS characters. As a single hit from a boss isn't fatal, but critical hit from the boss is incredibly lethal, as the boss has a very high base damage value. Therefore, resilience is greatly sufficient in as long as it matches the boss critical hit rate. Yeah, that's a doozy there. So when you go into your stats here, we're gonna go ahead and go view, and we're gonna go find resilience. It's 6.11%. So typically, your boss's crit hit rate is only 20%. So it's quite profitable to have this as high as possible. So resilience is a very necessary stat. And if you ever have confusions, you click up here with this question mark here, and you see what's viable for each of your people. All right, so you're thinking intelligence for mages and priests, and you're saying, well, the skill damage gives me bonuses and benefits. Absolutely. Like, let me see here. I haven't really started doing my my actual reforging, but frost damage boost, a 5.6% frost damage boost bonus. That's amazing. That's amazing. So when I reforge it, we're gonna lock that down, and we're gonna try to get something different that includes. Yes, spell power is good. We're not taking away from the spell power, but it's not a main attribute. You want intelligence over spell power. So now that doesn't. This arrow does not matter. It does not matter. Okay. What does matter are the skills that you're looking for. Okay. Fire damage, nice. That is nice. Now, if we can get a frost for me. Its agility's no good. Fire, flame, nope, no good. Strength, holy, nope. Holy barrier, nope. All garbage. 72 to frost damage. Now for me, that's a win because I'm already invested into frost. So for me, that's a win. Now it's in order to see what color it is. That is a blue. All right, so blue is basically it's mid tier, meh. You know what I mean? So you really want this orange or red. So we're gonna keep it because it also has spell power, frost. So this is a really good combination. That shadow flame is garbage. It's gonna be really hard to do anything with that. But you can't lock. We can lock it here, and now it costs me 160 to refine. All right, we see frost damage, fire damage, holy damage. Man, that was garbage. I don't understand. Where is my... Oh, be nice to me. I think we should save this. No. I'm purely fire. True damage, frost, and attack power. I'll save the true damage to upgrade. Frost damage. So this is what we're basically doing. So, yes, confirm. So when you talk about your attributes, your skills and your damage, what you're hunting for, what you really need to be asking yourself is what kind of mage do you want to be? For me, on this particular item, equipment, it has intelligence and regen, and you want anything that is related. So I like, none of this is actually viable because it's all blue and green. So we're going to refine it. It's 100 points, but that doesn't matter if it doesn't have anything we want. The SP bonus is what we want to see on this. All right, even though it is green, it's still good. Better than what it was. So we're gonna, nope, go back. Equip. Alright, so we're gonna refine it again. Spell power, no. Intelligence at 52 though. That's a bonus. Let's see. Intelligence, let's see if we can get that to be a red. 8 to regen. Not enough. So when we're looking at what we want, it's important to know what we're heading in after. So mages, of course, going based off of our attributes here list, and we go into here, we can see what we should be aiming for. As we can see, intelligence increases SP. So if we want intelligence, SP is also what we're looking for. SP, rate, intelligence, and we also want some viability. So we want the SP skill down here. We want some crit damage. We want some haste. It's all about what you specifically want within the class. So this is a bit of a longer video, but when we're talking about classes and everything, it gets really confusing really fast on what's the best and what's not the best. Honestly, the answer is what is the best is very optional based off a certain set of criterias. Like for me, my staff, I think the frost bonus damage, frost skill, true damage, and if I had this at a spell power, this would be amazing. I would love the staff and I would call it golden. But some people would want to have some other different stats on it. For your gear, I would like some armor. I would like the SP bonus, intelligence, and HP would be a nice boost. All right. So these are some of the things that I personally would want as a mage. So what is the best is more so up to you, as long as it's within a certain parameter. Meaning like the trinkets here. One of the best things to have for a trinket is the MP regen speed. Okay, it's very powerful. It's one of the best things for your trinket. It's the only thing that you can get regen speed is on the 2 trinkets. So very profitable, very useful. All right, so that's a lot of talking for this video, but it's all, hopefully I was able to explain. Now let's talk about some rankings here. Leveling, the Shadow Priest is the best. Fire Warrior is tied with the Rogue, but Rogue can exceed it based off the combat. All right, so mages have the highest monster killing proficiency, but the priest is faster at leveling up and monster killing with higher damage. In the arena, it's the rogue, mage, warrior, priest. Both warrior and priest are very uncontrollable and unsustainable in a normal fight. In a raid, your most important thing you need to have is a holy priest. After that, it's the protection warrior, fire or ice mage, shadow priest, ice mage, and weapons rogue, which is very important for boosting and being like stunning and stuff like that. Stuns are very, very important to the late game, but it's also very hard, so that might be an option you might want to consider removing. So I hope that answers a lot of people's questions about what we should go for. And even when we go up here, you know, we got all of these little things. 2 to STA 2, but this one has attack power and spell power and HP and haste. So I like this one a little bit better. And so we have to figure out what we want as a personally, and then we have to make sure that's somewhat interlines with what is the best, like what is known to be the best. What is known to be the best is for a mage to have intelligence, attack speed, which is haste, which is also going to be with my staff. I am frost. What's most important to me now is now frost. So as we can see how they correlate, frost isn't the best, but I want it to be as best as possible because I like frost. So you can kind of see I do know what is the best, which is fire, but I'm choosing frost over fire. So hopefully you can kind of see what I'm trying to say here when it comes to your character building. You know a warrior is going to want strength and HP and armor. Those are just like the given things that you know they're going to want and need. And rage regen is going to be the ability to cast more spells at a faster rate. So those are also very important things. You know, when you look at your rogue, you want your AP boost as regen as possible. You want your skill damage. You want some survivability with armor, but you also want your agility to be high. So you kind of got to play and mix around what you want. So hopefully this video does help some people when it comes to figuring out the attributes, because the attributes are very important when it comes to this game and figuring out how to survive your boss's encounters. Alright, again, thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully this helped you guys out. And again, thanks for stopping by and listening to the video.